Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Miltania and I share my life in New York, my recipes, and my routines. Today I want to take you guys through my updated wash day routine. Not a lot has changed, but this is the one that I've been sticking with very consistently, and I've seen a lot of progress, especially because I do some heat styling and I was recovering from a little bit of damage in the past. I always start by taking my hair down and giving myself a quick scalp massage. Also guys, if I sound a little funny, it's because I'm recovering from a cold. I do this because I want to start kind of feeling what kind of buildup I have in my hair and also get some blood flowing through my scalp. I typically do this for about 3 to 5 minutes before I split my hair into two and get ready for my pre-poo. I'm using gator clips instead of butterfly clamps because I've realized that they just snag on my hair a lot less. And then I go in and pre-poo my entire head. The African Pride one is just delicious. I have never used a pre-poo that got through my hair this well. The slip is out of this world and it basically melts the majority of my tangles. And I also recommend using a pre-poo before you jump in the shower because it cuts down the time that you need to spend saturating your hair with water in about half because your hair is already partially damp. And as I'm going through my hair, I'm super gentle and I do a lot of feeling around because I do want to make sure that I get as many tangles out of my hair as I can before I get into the shower. When I'm done detangling and adding the pre-poo to all my sections, I let that sit in my hair for about 15 minutes, and this is about how much hair I shed this week, which was very little compared to how much I used to shed in the past. Once I get into the shower, I take my sections down and I start rinsing out all of my pre-poo. I like to start my shampoo on a pretty clean canvas, and as you guys can see, look at my hair. It is already so saturated because I pre-pooed it and I let it sit in my hair for a little while. Then I split my hair in two and I go in for my very first shampoo. I typically use the Davines Solu. It's my favorite one. I've been using it for about 2 years now, and this one's a clarifying shampoo and it kind of helps take up all of the product buildup and the oils that I have in my hair that accumulate during the week. I do have a harder shampoo that I like, which is more of a chelating shampoo, and that one is the Malibu Undo Goo, but I use that one very sparingly depending on when I feel like my hair needs it. Also guys, those purple things in my ears are earplugs. If you struggle with having a bunch of water get into your ears when you wash your hair, I cannot recommend these enough. They have saved me from basically waterlogging my ears so many times. Anyways, back to the video. When I shampoo, I like to keep my hair stretched and a little bit taut, and I always use the pads of my fingers and not my nails when I'm working through my scalp because I don't want my nails to make little cuts and scrapes all over my scalp, which can lead to having a lot of irritation. And it's all about being very gentle and intentional when it comes to washing your hair. I've definitely learned this over time because I used to be super duper rough with my hair. Then if I feel like my hair is cleansed enough, I go in with my second regular shampoo, and that's the Olaplex number 4. I've also been using this one for a very long time. I've tried a lot of different shampoos and I just feel like my hair responds very well to this one, and it just makes my hair feel super strong the more that I use it. And I use the same fashion, going through with the pads of my fingers and just scrubbing and making sure that I get everything nice and clean before I move on to my conditioning. After I rinse out my shampoo, I like to go in with the number 5 Bond Maintenance Conditioner from Olaplex. I just like to follow number 4 with number 5. I just like the way that they work for my hair, but honestly, whatever combination of shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner works for your hair and your goals is what you should be doing. It doesn't have to be super elaborate or expensive. It just has to work for you. I let this sit on my hair for about 3 to 5 minutes. I've gotten a lot better at reading and also following the instructions, and I also think a lot of products have just advanced to the point where you don't need to be sitting down with conditioner in your hair for hours on end. So I go back in the shower and I rinse that out after a few minutes, and today I kind of felt like my hair needed a little bit of extra love, so I went in with my Amika The Cure Deep Conditioning Mask. It has also become a staple in my hair wash day routine. I feel like it absorbs into my hair very, very well and leaves it feeling super soft, and I just go through and make sure that all of my hair shaft is saturated. And I was also feeling around to see if I had any additional tangles, so I kind of did a little bit of finger detangling, and then I went in with my wide tooth comb and my tangle teaser just to make sure that I got all of the tangles out before I got out of the shower. But this part was super easy because I had done a lot of the detangling before I got into the shower. Once I was satisfied, I started twisting up my sections, and I went through my hair and did the same thing and put my hair back into my 6 sections and let that sit in my hair for about 10 minutes before rinsing it out and getting out of the shower. After I'm out of the shower, I like to put my hair under an old t-shirt. If you have a microfiber towel, you can do that too. Just anything that won't snag or pull at your hair is what you want to use. And I sit for about 20 minutes and let my hair partially dry because I want to be blow drying for as short amount of time as I possibly can. Before I do any styling at all, I go in with my leave-in conditioners and my heat protectants. The first thing that I used was my Redken Extreme Length conditioner, and I was against or not using leave-ins for a while, but I started putting them back into my routine and I definitely like the softness that they add to my hair. And then I went in with the Amika Detangling Primer, the Wizard I think it's called. That one is amazing. I just find that Amika's products really work well with my hair. And then the last thing that I did was go through with the It's a 10 spray, and I focused that specifically on my ends because I think it makes my ends a little bit smooth, and it is a little bit of a heavier product, so I don't like to always put too much all over my hair shaft. And a lot of the times when I'm applying any product, I like to smooth it all through my hair and get it fully saturated on all sections, whether I'm washing or conditioning or just applying my stylers. I like to get that all done before I move into the next step, whether I'm deep conditioning or styling or not. I just find that it saves time and you just get everything in your hair without having to constantly go between product and styling tools. This week I decided that I wanted to go back to blow drying my hair. I pretty much do this almost every single week. There's rarely a week that I'm not blow drying my hair. It's just what works best for me, and I'm always going in a downward motion. And this particular dryer is a brand new one. It's from Babyliss. I'll link it below for you guys. It has cut my drying time down in half. It is a very, very powerful dryer. I don't even use it on the highest setting, and I make sure that I hold my hair taut, and then I go in afterward with my roller brush to help smooth out my roots a little bit, and then I focus it on my ends when my hair is about 90% dry on the cool setting. And then the last thing that I do is I hit my hair with a cool shot before I wrap it up into a little bantu knot and move on to my other sections. But the thing with the round brush is you do have to be careful. It can break your hair, but I've been using it for a very long time now, so it's not as abrasive as it looks, and I'm pretty gentle with it on my hair. Once each section is fully dry, I like to go in with a little bit of the Olaplex No. 7 bonding oil and just rake and comb that through my hair, and that's pretty much my final step, you guys. I have a really good base for whatever styles I want to do that week, and my hair is nice, clean, and healthy. And honestly, all it takes is just being patient and consistent with your hair care routine, and I promise you will reach whatever goals that you have, but it does take time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.